Live from downtown Bakersfield, 23 ABC News at 11 starts now.
Good evening. We begin tonight with the investigation by CHP officers after a man in a wheelchair was hit by a car in East Bakersfield. The man suffering major injuries and getting transported to a local hospital for treatment by Hall ambulance. His condition unknown at this time. The driver of the car that hit him staying at the scene and cooperating with officers. According to CHP, it all began about 7 p.m. tonight when they responded to calls for a car crash on Eucalyptus Drive and Stephen Kelly Lane near Fairfax Road in East Bakersfield. When officers arrived, it was quickly determined it was a vehicle versus pedestrian incident. They initially found a man lying in the road on Eucalyptus Drive. Officials say they learned the man had been in a wheelchair in the road where there was no crosswalk when a car hit him. A portion of Eucalyptus Drive was temporarily closed as officers investigated the scene. CHP says they do not believe drugs or alcohol played a role in the incident. As mentioned, the driver of the car who hit the man did stay at the scene and fully cooperated with authorities. New video tonight sent to us by a 23 ABC viewer of a 3-vehicle crash in central Bakersfield. According to the viewer who sent us the video, at about 7 p.m., Bakersfield police officers arrived on scene of a 3-vehicle traffic collision at Union Avenue and Brundage Lane. The viewer says the male driver of the blue SUV was traveling westbound on Union Avenue and hit a fence and tried to take off. The viewer also saying as the driver went through the intersection of Union Avenue and Brundage Lane, he clipped another vehicle, causing it to swirl and hit a third vehicle. The female driver of the white Chevy Camaro was transported to a local hospital for minor to moderate injuries. The driver of the blue sedan refused medical aid. The viewer telling us the driver of the blue SUV that allegedly started the incident was arrested on scene and is facing DUI charges. We did reach out to Bakersfield Police to confirm the details, but so far have not heard back. The Arvin Police Department released its annual police report at tonight's City Council meeting, detailing which crimes have been on the rise and which ones are decreasing. 23 ABC's Imani Stevens joins us in studio with a breakdown of the annual report. Imani?
Jess, the report highlights the past 4 years data on crimes reported. Compared to the previous year, in 2019, the department saw an increase in property crimes, violent crimes, and simple assault. And the chief of Arvin Police Department outlines how the department plans to address the issues this year.
We saw a decrease in homicides, we saw a decrease in rapes, we saw a decrease also in the aggravated assaults.
Chief Scott Kimball says there are positives in the annual police report for the Arvin Police Department. In 2017, violent crime spiked with 229 reported. Since then, the numbers have gone down, and in 2019, there were 201. But while violent crime was less last year compared to 2017, it's higher than 2018, and it's not the only type of crime on the rise.
However, some of the other categories did increase, such as property crimes, for example, or the simple assaults, so that affects the overall numbers.
The report shows property crime had the most increase, followed by violent crimes and simple assault, such as an individual pushing or slapping someone. They're trying to bring that number down by reminding people to never leave items in your car visibly out or leaving your car or home door unlocked.
Those folks committing a lot of property crimes are looking for crimes of opportunities.
An opportunity that appears to be on the rise. According to the report, in 2018, there were 319 reported property crimes. And in the following year, 2019, a total of 453 property crimes. And the chief says the department is looking to hire more officers to combat the rise in crime.
And I believe we can find those officers and hire them and get them trained so we can not only strengthen our patrol force, but then we can branch off into some specialty divisions such as traffic enforcement and canine and detectives.
This year, the chief says they hope to hire 4 to 5 additional police officers, but they want the community's help too. Officials say people should report crimes and, if necessary, utilize the anonymous tip line.
If they share the information about what's going on out there in their community, that helps us to better do our job and be able to give them the quality of life issues that they're all concerned about.
Chief Kimball says the department will continue with hosting their town hall meetings, establish a neighborhood watch, and are testing body-worn cameras to assist with their efforts within the community. Live in studio, I'm Imani Stevens, 23 ABC News, connecting you.
Kern County felt very nice conditions today with mostly clear skies, and here in Bakersfield temperatures were 7 degrees above average with a high of 69. So that's all thanks to high pressure that continues to dominate over the region. So throughout the day the valley was seeing those clear skies, some passing clouds as we head into the evening hours, but clear again for your Wednesday. Something that we will be feeling are slightly chilly temperatures in the early morning hours tomorrow. Overnight lows here in Bakersfield at 39 degrees, 36 in Delano, 37 in Lebec, as well as in Lake Isabella. But that's all going to be warming up as we head into the afternoon. Temperatures already in those mid 60s by your lunchtime, up to 69 degrees for your afternoon high. So very similar to what we were seeing today. And this warming trend will continue for your Thursday, but a bit of a change in those weather patterns as we head into your Valentine's Day. I have more details on your full forecast coming up next.
Well, now it is to election 2020. New developments tonight as Bernie Sanders has won the New Hampshire primary. The Vermont senator securing a light lead ahead of former Mayor Pete Buttigieg. This as Andrew Yang announced he is calling it quits and suspending his campaign. ABC's Mona Kosar Abdi is in Manchester, New Hampshire with more.
A big night and a big win for Bernie Sanders, the Vermont senator claiming the top spot in the New Hampshire primary.
It's on to Nevada, it's on to South Carolina, it's on to win the Democratic nomination.
But unlike his 2016 victory in the Granite State, this time Sanders barely edging out former Mayor Pete Buttigieg, who felt a boost from his strong showing in Iowa.
So many of you decided that a middle-class mayor and a veteran from the industrial Midwest was the right choice to take on this president.
And Amy Klobuchar's plain talk message clearly resonating with voters, the senator coming in third after gaining a surge of momentum in recent days.
We have beaten the odds every step of the way.
Over the weekend, her campaign drawing its largest crowd in the Granite State and bringing in millions in donations. The night, however, not unfolding as Elizabeth Warren had hoped. The Massachusetts senator taking the stage at her election night party to congratulate her competitors.
That Senator Sanders and Mayor Buttigieg had strong nights. And I also want to congratulate my friend and colleague, Amy Klobuchar, for showing just how wrong the pundits can be when they count a woman out.
But Warren making it clear this was not a concession speech and that her campaign is in it for the long haul. Former Vice President Joe Biden having already left the state for South Carolina with a similar showing in New Hampshire. An exit polls show almost half the voters didn't make a decision until the last minute, and more than 60% picked a candidate who they believe can beat President Trump. Mona Kosar Abdi, ABC News, Manchester, New Hampshire.
Voters in McFarland and Wasco will decide the fate of several school bond measures in March that, if passed, will lead to the construction of new facilities and revitalization of several schools. Officials with the Wasco Union School District say due to increasing enrollment the past several years and some severely outdated classrooms and facilities, the district has decided to do some updates. But the funds needed to do that would have to come from a voter-passed $16 million bond known as Measure C. The money, if passed, would be spent in 3 parts. The first phase, starting in 2021 and consisting of $5.2 million, would be used to build a new administration office and bus unloading zone to replace the current maintenance operations and transportation office. The second phase, which would begin in 2023 and consist of $5.1 million, would go toward permanent classroom replacements at Palm Avenue Middle School and John L. Pruitt Elementary School. 30-year-old temporary portables are currently being used at those sites. The final phase, beginning in 2026 and totaling $5.4 million, would see the construction of an alternative school for students who are not successful in traditional school settings. In March, voters will decide whether to pass a $30 million bond known as Measure B that will go toward the construction of a multi-purpose room at McFarland High School and various renovation projects at elementary schools. McFarland Unified School District officials say enrollment is growing, which makes fitting students in one space a problem. They say a large majority of students are left out during pep rallies. Many sports fans are turned away during competitions so that the fire marshal doesn't shut the gymnasium down and the cafeteria cannot seat every student. The multi-purpose room, which includes a cafeteria, auditorium, and gymnasium, would help serve an ever-growing population. Funds from the bond would also go to repair projects at Kern Avenue and Browning Road elementary schools and would include fixing roofs and sidewalks. And of course, 23 ABC will continue to provide you information so that you can make an informed decision on Super Tuesday. The California primary is set for March 3rd. We will have all the information you need on candidates, propositions, and measures on our website, turnto23.com.